Hey everyone, this is Noah Diffenbaugh at Stanford University, and I'm really excited to host this Hangouts on Air. We're talking about the effect of climate change on corn price volatility and how this interacts with energy policies, in particular biofuels mandate that requires biofuels to be produced.
I'm a French student in communication, and I focus my studies on awareness and education in sustainable development.
I'm Miro Maestro. I'm a fan on Google+. I'm based in Paris. I'm very interested in climate change and in also energy solutions. So the whole biofuel thing really interests me quite a bit.
So I'm going to start with a brief overview of our results, because this is a new paper. It's been in the news quite a bit in the last couple of days, and I'm really excited to have the opportunity to talk directly. So we see about a fourfold increase in corn price volatility resulting from climate change over the next 3 decades or so. And that comes from a doubling of the volatility of corn yields, and that volatility in corn yields is coming from an increase in the number of severe heat events that happen during the growing season.
But what's the reasoning for the lowering in the volatility of prices given the future climate, either with the future climate or the historical climate with the 2020 high oil scenario?
Okay, great question. So essentially, this energy market provides a buffer against the bad yield years, right?
Oh, so, sure. Okay.
And also provides a market to sell into in high yield years.
It appears to me that the biofuel mandate creates a stress on the demand. So the stress is maybe independent to the stress created by the climate change.
So we're asking the question, given that we expect temperature and precipitation to change with global warming, how might those changes affect the yield volatility? That's the first question. And then the second question is, how might those changes in yield volatility affect corn prices, and in particular with this biofuels mandate? Right? So if there's a hot year and yields are low, there's still the requirement that corn be sold into the energy market.
About the biofuel mandates again, so you mentioned it's roughly around 40%. I'm just wondering, is that a fixed percentage irrespective of the yield, if it's a good, a year with a good yield or a bad yield, or is there not some sort of set aside for the domestic, the natural domestic market?
It would be really interesting, and this is actually not something that had occurred to me, frankly, until you asked the question of what would the effect on our results be of a mandate that was responsive to the yield volatility, in particular yield volatility in response to climate change. So I think that's a great question, and I've got to think about how we might test it.
Does this mean that you would expect that the yields in the future will be slower because it seems like there's a less, considerably less area that's suitable for optimal corn crops?
So the one other question you could ask is, well, if temperature changes and that affects the climate where corn is grown now, how might couldn't we just grow corn somewhere else? So we have asked that question, and that's what's shown on the screen now. Yeah, we definitely have some work to do on the science side to answer those questions, but we're working on it. And yeah, I really appreciate you joining the Hangout, and Cedric as well, and yeah, I'm stimulated scientifically from our discussion, so I'm excited to get back to the to the computer and jot down some ideas. I look forward to future Hangouts on Air, and if you have anyone out there out in the world has questions about climate change, suggestions for topics for discussion, I'd be very excited to hear them, and look forward to talking further in the future. So thank you all very much for your attention, and we'll see you out there soon.